Luke, massive congratulations, mate. Well played. Do you expect that kind of difficult performance tonight?
I was, for myself, I just wanted to put up a good performance. I knew it would be very tricky, but in the back room when we were bulling up and we were throwing some darts, I tried to figure out how to get myself into a rhythm for when I do go on stage, and I found the rhythm that I wanted.
Do you wake up in the morning and think, 18 months on a tour, how have I got here? Is it still quite, what's the word? Is it still quite spellbinding?
Yeah, it definitely is. I've said quite a few times, for us players and especially myself, there's not a lot of time to look back on what I've done, but I know deep down what I have done in the past and what I've done leading up to now, and long may it continue.
You were trying to get away. You stood in between this episode where they're trying to run away from the French guy, and he turned around, he's still there. That's what it felt like. You just couldn't get away from Andrew. He just pulled him back, and then the last like 2 180s, and you know that's when champions do what you did.
Yeah, I certainly had to there, especially against the darts. Had to pull it out of the bag. But for myself, I was happy to be in the lead throughout the game. But obviously at the end, he started to get a bit of momentum. The crowd wanted to go 2 clear legs, but I just had to do a professional job there and go out in 11.
And do you care who you play next?
Not really, but I'm sure we'll see some fireworks there now.
Well done, mate.
Luke, part of the way through that game, you looked frustrated with yourself. What was the reason behind that?
Yeah, it was just obviously the doubles, they weren't going in. I was happy to be leading all the way throughout the game, but I feel like I could have got the job done earlier on. But that's darts, and it dragged out a little bit longer.
Look, the following that Andrew's got, were you surprised that perhaps he was the fans' favourite for a large parts of that game? Not towards the end, but in that middle spell, they really got behind him.
Yeah, they certainly did. But for myself, I know if I hit a 180, they all cheer, they all get back on my side. But it was 50-50. But towards the end, they wanted it to go 2 clear legs. But yeah, just had to get it done.
What's going through your mind when he takes out that 1-2-7? Because you were there, sat there, waiting to pants to win it, and he takes that out. What goes through your mind at that point?
Yeah, it's one of them things. He took his shot at the right time, and with the 160, I'm pretty sure I was on a 2-dart finish when he took that one out as well. But that's what these dart players do. They can ping shots whenever they want. But yeah, just glad to get over the line.
For decades, they used to sing "Walking in a Taylor Wonderland." Here, this was his home. So what's it like at the end there when they're singing "Walking in a Little Wonderland"?
Yeah, it means everything. I'm pretty sure it first started at my first World Championships, but just hearing the song, and obviously after a great legend at Fillers, he's been here plenty of times, won at 16, and I'm really looking forward to the semi-final.
Congratulations. Were you kind of expecting Andrew to weaken as the game went on? Because we saw that in the quarterfinals last year, kind of dipped after the 3rd session, but tonight he just kept that consistent pace all the way through.
Yeah, obviously he had a few slack darts, and sometimes he'd leave like 3-4-5, 3-4-6, whilst I'm sat on like 260 something, and then I know that even if he hits 180, he's not going to leave a finish, and then obviously I can pounce on it. But yeah, I think if he set up the 340s, 341s, hit a maximum to leave a finish, then it would have been a different story. But that's when the thinking comes into the game.
There's been a bit of talk about the Triple Crown this week. There's been Sky PTs, that sort of thing. Is that something that's on your mind at all?
Yeah, it's got to be on my mind until I win it. But like I said, since day one here, you can only beat what's in front of you, and you've got to take it game by game.
Kevin Price or Josh Rock in the semi-finals. How do you see this one final going?
Yeah, no idea. I think Gez is on 108, 109 for the tournament over 3 or 4 games. He's playing well. Josh he's been playing well for months and months now, but I'm sure it's going to be a really good game.
Well played tonight, Luke. How much do you have to change your approach against someone like Andrew? Obviously the pace is a little bit different. Is it a different approach from yourself on stage? Yeah,
it definitely is. Obviously the game with me and Jermaine, we get on with it, both quick players, but when you're playing someone like Andrew, he's not going to change for anyone, no matter who you are. You'll always do the same thing, throw by throw, dart by dart. But I just had to get myself into a rhythm, not throw it too quick, not throw it too slow. I think I pulled a fair few darts into the ones and the small 20s throughout that game, But the cover shots and the 19s were there for me tonight.
I remember that first World Championship when you faced Andrew. You had that photo with him in the hotel before the match. You still speak to Andrew outside of darts, out in the practice room and whatever?
Yeah, I don't think he's a big talker, Andrew. A lot of us players, we got on with our thing, and like Gary Anderson said, we're boring, so that's what we do.
Luke, well done today on that performance. Against Jermaine, you said that's why you're world champion when you were coming back, and you've just proven it again, because when Andrew was to run to level it up, you pulled out, was it 11 darts, I think it was, to win the match? Yeah,
then I think he hit like a ton or a 60, and then I've hit a ton of 180, left on 2-2-1, and I'm thinking to myself, get a treble, leave the 1-2-1, or even switch 1-2-4, but hitting the maximum showed more aggression, and then I just had to hit tops.
Not sure if you're aware, but you've broken another record in that match. Nobody's hit 18 180s in a match play quarter-final before. I think it was 14 before. What's it like when you just go up there and 18 years old, just breaking all these records that you probably don't even know exist?
I didn't even know.
You're just knocking them down. How do you keep doing it?
No idea. I didn't even know that this was a record for a quarter-final. I'm sure there's records for round one leading up to the final. But yeah, it's another record that I've ticked off, and hopefully I can go a few better in the semis.
It's Gavin Price or Josh Rock next. You've faced Gavin Price loads of times. He's beaten you quite a few times. You've beaten him. Have you ever faced Josh? I couldn't find any record of it. I'm not sure you have.
Never played him. So on social media the past 24 hours, I think the fans would love to see me and Josh. I think it was 2 years ago I seen the game with Josh and Van Gerwen. But yeah, I'm sure the fans would want to see me and Josh. But if it's not to be, I can only beat what's in front of me.
Great, well done tonight, Luke. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just on Josh, you talked about how you've got a really close relationship with him away from the hockey. Do you two ever chat backstage about how he was like the first wonder kid to come through and you almost took his mantle the year after?
Yeah, we don't really talk about it because Josh has been on the tour for many years, been on the youth tour for many years. But no, we've been good friends now for quite a while. But yeah, like I said, he's been playing really good darts for quite a few months. Obviously, I've come on the scene, but I can definitely say he is an underdog.
How did that friendship come about?
I don't even know. I think it might have been the youth tour. Obviously, when I was on the tour, speaking to Rob, known Rob Cross many years. Obviously, Rab Bain, his manager, he's got quite a few players with Target, and then we all go to a Target day. We all meet up, speak to each other, and that's how it comes about.
So it'd be a pretty fitting match if your first encounter on the PDC tour is a World Matchplay semi-final. Yeah,
it definitely would be. I'm sure Josh he'll give Gezi a good game here. Like I said, I'm not sure who's going to win here, but I'm sure it'll be fireworks.
James Wade yesterday, it's quite similar. He said he didn't want to play John because they have such a good relationship away from the hockey. Do you think it would almost be a bit more difficult facing Rock than it would be Gezi, who you've got so much experience facing?
Yeah, I don't think it really matters who you play, whether you're friends or not, because as soon as you're on the stage, you're no one's friend. You're there to do a job. But if it is to be with Josh, we're always in the back room chatting, practicing. But then with Gezi, sometimes talks, but sometimes we just do our own thing. Thank you.